Zbek. How I
Yes.
always start this show, I always ask for your right name. I believe you were christened with a name, and your blessings come to the right name. You know, so that's how I see it. So I'm gonna ask you your right name, and then we're gonna go into what the Zbek stands for.
Okay, well, my birth name was Jermaine Zbek. Well, it still is Jermaine Nelson. Yeah,
Okay.
but later on I started working with Zbek because there's a lot of history behind Zbek and a lot of meaning.
Okay. So let's start with the mean. Is it an acronym? Because I see you put the dots as if it's an acronym.
Yes, it is an acronym. Zealously be embracing knowledge.
Ooh.
Yeah, so because I'm a big fan of Malcolm X now, and Malcolm X said the X is for the unknown information. His ancestors from Africa, where exactly they were from, the tribe, and all of that. So he was Malcolm Little first, and then he removed the little and added the X. So like Zbek is my conscious name.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, so we're gonna start from your beginnings.
Mhm.
Where was you born? How did you grow up? What was it like for you as a child?
Uh, uh, I had a very joyful childhood because I grew up in the country, and in the country you have bush, you have river, and all of that, and you have other children there, so you can always come home from school and you cut down the coconut tree and shave it up and make a cricket bat, and you melt up your plastic bags and you make a ball from it, and you play cricket and you play marble and ringsy and all of that. So childhood was good for me, but in high school I did drama, and my drama teacher said that for the final exam everyone has to do a practical instead of a paper test. So everyone had to imitate someone in the classroom
Mm-hmm.
and not say that person's name, but everyone is supposed to know who that person was. And I
Okay.
was the only one who imitated someone, and right away everyone could say that okay, that person is someone. So the drama teacher said, listen, you have something and it needs to be nurtured. So I'm going to bring you and put you on a bigger stage. And he brought me to the Jamaica Cultural Film, sorry, Jamaica Culture. Why am I? JCDC,
Yeah,
Speech and
Jamaica
Drama
Cultural Development Commissions, right?
Commission. Oh, I'm so sorry, JCDC.
There.
Yeah, I went and I excelled, and I also met one of the judges at the time was Glenn Titus Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
So later in the future, when I went and I auditioned at Centrestage, I saw him and I said, "Remember when I was at festival a couple of years ago, and you said to me, keep it up, keep up the good work." And surprisingly, a few weeks later, he called me and said, "I see that you're still on the journey, and I have a commercial for you." And that's when I did my first official commercial for Ray and Nephew, J Ray and Nephew. The Q is the key.
Yes, yes.
From there, I capitalized on that. I started reaching out to other people. Uh, and at Centrestage, that's where I met TV Boss. But
Right.
TV Boss had left earlier because, TV Boss in the street, so him always want to get it. So I broke up with him like a couple years later now, and I said, yo, I'm still there, Centrestage, what go on, nothing. And him said, all right, watch what go on. Lock that number, yeah. A Dameon Gayle number this. And I said, all right then. So I called up Dameon Gayle. Dameon was like, okay, all right. I'm going to lock the number because I need people like me. I start shoot some films and stuff, so I need actors. But I would call him too often. And one time Dameon said to me like, yo, brother, I have credit for my phone too, give me a chance to call you. Let me use my phone to call you too. Yeah, let me use up my credit. So I kept nagging him, calling, DM, all of that. And finally one day he returned my call and he said, okay, ready for you. And that's when I did Siren by Eska Levi.
Right.
Yeah, and from there he was like, listen, you never know, see, I saw your bad. You see yourself now? I don't even want to put in any music video. It has to be like a short film or something like that. And
Yeah.
because I see as regular, I see as a Hollywood actor. So I give a Hollywood treatment. And from there, he just kept calling me for like work, where it requires like real acting because I'm a method actor.
Right.
Method acting, that's naturalism, realism, and that's what my focus is. And he was like, okay, you're going to be the youth of me, I send God road. You are my actor. And it just started from there.
All right. So let's break it up a bit. So Cyrene, tell us who did you see when you first went on set? How was the feeling? How did that work out?
well, Dameon, I got kill me for this, you know. But what happened is, Dameon told me 12 o'clock, and I was supposed to meet him in Waterhouse. So I called him like about 10 o'clock and said, yo, with a 3 mile. He said, brother, you're early, man. I said, yeah, my first day, plus my love, my job. Said, all right, Waterhouse, 12 o'clock. I was in Waterhouse, very first time. I don't know anybody, so I had to blend in, like move around, like I'm from there. Because, you know, in some communities in Jamaica, if you're a strange man, people you're like, yo, who that? So when he came now, he was like, oh, you reach. We boom off his lion for a shake and all of that. But that was before quarantine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he was like, okay, so I explained the story to you already. So this is what I want. Blah 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 blah. He explained everything. He's like, okay, change up. I want you to sit down right here. So when he showed me where to sit down, I was like, oh, it's a lot of mud and my pants kind of clean. But he wanted like a unruly type of youth who I wasn't bad. I just ended up following like a bad company and got in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what? But the person said, and it's acting, so just I get dirty. And he said, okay, give me the expression like your mother, yeah, reminisce on what your mother said about bad company and stuff like that. When I gave him the expression, man, cuss a bad word. And the man said, yo, at the expression, me, I look for you. The man said, Swiss, come look here. He pointed the camera again and said, and Swiss said, yo, in bad. And then Esco Levi walked in now, and Esco Levi was with Kevin at the time. Kevin from Chemistry Entertainment, and they were like, yo, Dameon, where you get the actor you're from? In bad, man. so the rain started falling, so we had to pause. And then the rain stopped, and Dameon said, you ready? We can go again, you know, but cause it's dirtier now than before. Like, if sure you want to continue. I'm gonna say, well, me get dirty already, so might as well. I'm say, okay, you have to go jump over a wall, you know. And I said, yo, come like you want to train with the Olympics or something like that. Me, I hurdle over wall and all of these things. And I said, all right, you're going to run from around there, so I run come here, so you're going to jump over the wall 2 times. You're going to catch it from this angle, and the other one will catch it from that angle. You know, star. Because usually, sometimes when when they're trying to create an effect, they probably put like Vaseline on you and the water. Like, you never had to put that on me because, like, I was running like crazy and I was real sweat. And I was like, brother, I'm sorry. Me never work with you earlier because me never know say I say about. But don't worry yourself, man. Don't worry yourself. We have work for you. And we build a good relationship from there. No, we're still good and we have a lot more stuff working on. Because what he's trying to do right now is to show people that I'm not a gangster actor.
Yes.
I'm an actor.
Exactly right.
Yeah, so he's showing it. Listen, Zbek, I want actor. Him just know how to act so good that you might mistake him for a bad man.
Yeah.
So now he's going to put me in different type of projects where you can see. You saw a piece of that in Seen It Before by Busy Signal with the romantic side of me, the more soft, gentle. So that's what he's going for.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding I like to advise youth. I like to give anybody nuggets of inspiration. So you was you thinking about drama when your teacher decided to tell you, said, no, you're really good at drama? Was you thinking about it beforehand? And how did you approach that first ever play that you did?
I was not thinking about it beforehand, but you know, sometimes I started doing things without having a later intention for it. Like, you just, like, for example, I used to watch Saved by the Bell, and my favorite character at the time was Screech. So I always imitated Screech, not knowing that what I was doing was preparing me for that exam at drama class, and a drama class exam prepared me for the big stage. I just wanted to become a soldier, and that's it. And then sometimes you have the potential and your purpose, but you yourself don't see it because you're so busy running around, you don't have time for you. And somebody sees it and like brings it to your attention, and you're like, you know, I really can do this. So I capitalized on that and made that jump, catapult into whatsoever I'm doing now.
Yeah, yeah. So how was your mindset? Because like you said, you was doing your own thing. How was your mindset and your focus towards? I know, we can see from your portfolio that you was very focused in going to, in going and getting your in the cultural development commissions and stuff like that. So was it easy for you to say to, I'm not sure, to say to your parents, or to just dive straight into that, this is what I'm going to do? Like, as soon as you had that first play, did it just click?
No, because even when I said it to several people in my family, they were like, acting far-fetched. Plus, this is Jamaica, like, it's not a land for acting, it's just music. And besides, some people in general, they see certain career choice as a no-no. So it's your dream. So you have to fulfill your dream. You can't, people are not going to believe in your dream. You have to believe in your dream. So now, without even saying it to them, I see them sending me flyers that I'm on, links for trailers or whatever, interviews or whatever, like, and they're sharing, posting, commenting, liking. So I said, okay, that's all I had to do, prove to them my dream. But it was not easy because I remember I used to do some real estate work and I never had enough time to leave to go to auditions or be on set. Boss used to be like, well, you have to be in office today. So I had to walk off my job. And when I walked off my job, I wasn't looking at how am I going to pay this bill or that bill. I was just looking at, okay, now I have enough time to do what I want to do.
Yeah. So you took your time, and you slowly realized that, you really enjoyed the acting, and it's what you want to do. So you set yourself away so that eventually you could reach there.
Yeah, because at one point I also detached myself from everybody and everything because she was too much of a distraction. They were too much of a distraction. That thing takes up too much of my time. But what am I doing for myself? I'm making people happy and making myself temporarily happy by doing that activity. But what do I really want to do all the time? That's acting.
All right. So tell me about that. When you detach your friends, because some friends really understand a person, and some friends will say, no, man, I understand what you need to do. There's other friends that would take it the wrong way. Once you then, was comfortable in your career, and you started to now go out and link your friends again, were they all receptive? Was it an easy thing to do? Are your friends understanding?
Well, those friends I don't have anymore because they weren't understanding. They never understood I'm doing this and this requires you being absent. They never understood that. So instead of, some of them I explained it to them, they never got it. Some I was like, I don't have to explain this, I'm just going to do me, and I hope people get it. So that's what I really did. Like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This doesn't require or sitting down explaining to anyone saying, okay, I'm going to be absent for a while. I really can't talk to you as often because this is going to take up most of my time. I just did what I had to do, and I realized that people were falling out of my life. People were coming into my life by just focusing on me.
Focusing on
because not everybody is going to be on the journey with you.
right.
Some people are supposed to go like part ways. Some people are going to have to stop right now, and then you catch up back with them at a later date on a different pathway.
Yeah.
It requires a lot of focus and discipline.
So coming forward a little bit to seen it before, and you've linked Dameon and Gayle now, and now you're casting. And like I said, from listening to your previous listening to you speak at the premiere, I feel like Dameon now has built up a good trust with you.
Yeah, because he sees me as somebody who is reliable in terms of this person can start a story and finish the story and play strong throughout the entire story. And what he does sometimes, because he knows that I play strong, he allows me to choose who is my supporting actor. Because he doesn't want to put somebody up against me who is weak and will drain my energy. He puts somebody up against me who is like generous with their energy. So it's a push-pull situation. So he allowed me to choose Asabi, for example, in Seen It Before.
Yeah.
Because he wanted like a very phenomenal, romantic, passionate, and believable type of relationship.
Yeah.
He never wanted to just use a girl who looked like a Christian and acted like a Christian. He wanted somebody who was the actual character.
All right. So for everybody on the line, let them know what the role was and how it came about.
Okay, so I played strings in Seen It Before by Busy Signal, short film. It all started from Stay So. A lot of people know enough of them Stay So. So Dameon wanted to continue the story, but because majority of the main characters had died, he continued telling the story backwards. That's how he came up with the prequel. Now Strings was not a bad man to begin with. He was just this youth from the inner city community who wanted a group he could fit into. And he just ended up hanging out with these guys. These guys started doing bad things, sending him on missions. And he went on one particular mission, and, as you saw in the beginning, where he shot somebody by mistake. He only went there to rob, get money, or whatever accessories he could have gotten. He shot the guy by mistake, and when he got back, he got praises for that. So he took those praises and like, okay, I made a man. So Strings. But Strings fell in love with Asabi, his girlfriend. Why? Because he wasn't a gangster from the beginning. He was just a guy who needed love and affection. He never had like his family around and stuff like that. So he was getting that from his Christian girlfriend. So of course he's going to be distracted from what he doesn't really, or what he never really wanted to do, which is the bad man lifestyle. He just wanted to be a simple guy, have one little girlfriend, and live a normal life, and go church, have a 9 to 5, and just be humble.
Right.
And it was challenging for me because I had to play like 3 different strings. I had to play the romantic soft guy, had to play this new Christian guy. I have to pretend like me a bad man around my friends then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad that Dameon sent me the script like way ahead of time so I could do my script analysis and characterization. So when I went and said all he had to do was just point the camera and say action.
So, and how is it for you? How do you prepare yourself for all those different characters? Because I'm not alien to drama myself, so I understand about putting yourself into character. Now, how long did it take? I think you said it took 3 days to shoot that mini movie. How long did it take?
3 days because of the whole Corona thing. Dameon had wanted to do it in 1 day, but he wanted the social distancing and stuff like that, so he had to break it up into 3 days, several times of the day with different characters. And usually, what I learned at Centrestage in terms of characterization, they introduced me to an acronym called PIMS, PIMPS. So that's the physical, the intellectual, the moral, the psychological, and the social of the character. So once you understand the character, the character's purpose in the story, and how everybody functions around this character, and why this character is like this, why does he walk like this or talk like this, why is his education like this, you don't judge that character. And you don't judge the character because you are the character. You don't play the character, you be the character. Because if you play the character, you're being ambiguous. But if you are the character, you play specific. And you won't question like, when talk so? Why would you question yourself why you talk like that? You just see yourself as perfect.
Right.
And so that's my preparation.
All right. So even in saying that, you learn as you grow and you learn and you get knowledge. So learning these characters, you're learning different things about people really, and you're learning things. So do you find sometimes are you able to, like, if a character had said something and you're in a conversation, have you found yourself using the terms of a character before in real life?
Not yet, but this I can say. Usually when I'm through playing a role, I usually detox myself. I usually go away for a weekend or a week, and I have this place where I bury these characters because sometimes I hear voices in my head. And when I go on the street and if people should say strings or wagwan, like if you feel good about that, you're going to want to put on the wagwan family. And you don't want to stay in character. That way you're going to lose yourself.
Right.
And I don't want to lose myself. I want to continue being me. But Dameon had me digging up strings because I thought he was done with strings from Stay. So then he said, no, we have the prequel, so strings have to come back and tell the story from how he got in touch with these guys and I meet him girlfriend and stuff like that. So I had to dig up back that character, pimps him again, physical, intellectual, moral, psychological, add all the flesh to him and have him alive again.
Yeah.
But no, I've never had that situation where I used a line from. The only thing is like if I'm on the road and like I'm doing an interview now and you would say, okay, me can get that look that like that steer and yeah, but no, I try not to walk around and use those words and with that type of characteristics.
I think you've done the right thing. I think the word you used, detox, after, once the show is over, once you've done your job, I think it's the right thing to do. Like I said, I have a keen eye for characteristics. And I think it's very, very important to detox out of a character before you continue with your regular life, because it's not all the time you want that to come forth.
Exactly.
Staying on the subject of strings for a while and the actual storyline, I wanted to bring in a bit of reality here and really address how serious some of these problems are. The storyline of Stay So, and then seen it before. Well, probably everybody's seen it. I don't want to give it away too much if they haven't, but it's like an action that Strings had done many years ago has come back to lick him.
Karma.
Yeah.
Karma. A lot of people, they may come now and they do a lot of bad, and they just, with all that bad, they just reach a path in their life where they probably may come across a circumstance or a person, anything, and that moment or that person or that situation changes their life, and they're like, okay, back in the days, I used to do this and that and but done with that now. I'm on a different pathway. But they don't think about karma. That was the situation with Strings. That's because Strings is really shouldn't have gone out in public like that. Because, you know, bad man, them really are going to hide in the bushes or in some houses or wherever. So for Strings, it's like him drop him guard, all because of the girl. He just feel as if, okay, because the girl was telling him about, listen, once you repent, God will forgive you of your sins and all of that. Forgive you of your sins and all of that. But he's not thinking about the reality where, listen, God is going to forgive you, but man really out there for your head because you kill innocent people's family. Yeah. So that's why Strings ended up dying, because he dropped his guard and never thought about karma.
Right. So mentally he had prepared himself for a different lifestyle, but the streets still remember Strings for being Strings.
Exactly. Because once you go street, you can never get away from that, you know. You never get away, because people are going to remember what you did, especially if you did good or bad. But good or bad, like the karma always comes back around.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give you a chance to big up your audience, because I've seen somebody who really said, Dolly British, she said, proud of you regardless, no matter what you do, we got you. Shoot for the stars, family. You know?
Oh, what's the person's name?
Dolly British.
Oh, Dolly British, big up yourself wherever you
Godfather Music 865.
Godfather Music.
Yeah.
Mad. Wagwan family.
Charm. She my good friend Charm. She wants to know when it's coming out. Charm, it's out already. You can find it on YouTube. If not, click the link in my bio and you'll find it there, and you'll be able to watch it. It's a really good mini movie. I want to ask Dameon the question, if Dameon sees this video, because I want to ask him the question why he kept it to 10 minutes. He had the opportunity to make a big video or a long video or even shorter, and I don't know why it's nigging me. Why he leave it to just 10 minutes? Do you know?
I can't speak for him, but what I'll say is I think he just wanted it to be very concise and precise.
Yeah.
And he wanted to get the point across, because especially with the love scene, he wanted to do more with it, but he never wanted the audience to be distracted and like, oh, we're gone into a love world now, and forget about the actual story. So he just made that very short and just get to the point. Okay.
All right. So hopefully one day I'll have an opportunity to ask him myself. Also, I mean, I was speaking about the karma and stuff like that. And like I said, just from your perspective, I mean, COVID has changed the whole world right now, so we can't really speak on it as actual. But how are you finding the generations growing in Jamaica now? How are you finding the crime, regarding the crime?
What I think the government should do is implement programs for especially inner city communities, because Strings, for example, I shouldn't be saying this, but Strings' mother died,
Okay.
right? So he had nobody else around. But if they had implemented some sort of programs in the community, that's where Strings would have gone in the mornings or in the afternoon just to learn a trade or a skill or something like that. But he had nothing like that. He had no schooling. So of course I'm gonna find whatever he sees as fun and to do to join. So I think if they come with programs to distract inner city youths from negativity, that can help. Um, because when you grow up in that community, whatsoever you see, that's what you want to live. So I think some programs that helps youth, like, because not a lot of people can afford to go to school.
Yes.
And some of these programs, they can also be free or at a lower cost, where they can, okay, let me go over here, so and I'll pay in installment, or just beg some free education and just get through. So if they can do that, I think most youngsters will grow up way better, making better choices.
And let me tell you something. This is England, right? I'm in England at the moment, and it's not alien. The whole situation isn't alien. We have situations where generations and generations and generations are still looking money.
Yeah.
We have situations where schooling is free, but food isn't free. Travel fare is not free. And I'm really big on breaking that cycle and talking to my friends about generational wealth, and making sure you have life insurance, so if anything does happen, your child doesn't start from ground zero or doesn't end up in the hands of the government. So I'm creating programs. What you said, I heard Bounty Killer on Spice Up as well, and I heard Bounty Killer say something similar, that they need to start looking out for the good children also. They have state of emergency. I think what he said, I don't want to quote him incorrectly, but he said they have state of emergency for the bad boys, but they don't have mentors for the good boys and girls.
Yeah, I would agree, because you always hear, oh, we out for the bad guys, but nobody's, oh, we out for the good guys.
Yeah.
And what I would say to, like, a lot of people, not just the government, but if you have it, and you may not be from one of them inner city community, and but you just see somebody who has the potential or don't have any potential, because like me, I never knew what I wanted to do, but somebody saw that and brought it to my attention. So what you can do, you can just reach out to these people and say, hey, I want to help you. But then again, not everybody who you help wants to be helped.
It's true.
But once you put something in front of them to distract them from something that's negative, of course they're going to look at their options.
Yeah.
They just, what if you're in a good position, just help somebody.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be money, or like it can be like a good conversation, kind words, like motivation.
Most of the time it is through motivation. I mean, like you can, like you said, it was your teacher who saw that you was really good at acting, and just the response from that gave you the thought. I mean, just seeing a talent in somebody and just letting them know can help them so much,
Definitely.
I have a theme on this show, and every guest, I believe God gives everybody a purpose. I've mostly interviewed artists, and so I asked them about their music, because I feel like God gives them a gift, and that's the easiest way. Music is a really good way of passing a message. So I'm gonna ask you, Zbek, what is your message that you're sending to the world?
Well, for stay, so for sure, like, karma does come back around. So be careful of what you do, because you never know. You never know. So just do good. Because sometimes even when you do good, like, bad comes your way, but good is always good. It's always good to do good.
Yeah.
But just be passionate about what you do also. And like, my favorite word is proclivity. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, the right people will find you, and just stay ready, because you never know when the opportunity is going to come. Because when Dameon started calling me and said, hey, I have these roles for you with these big names, I was not surprised. I was surprised at the time it happened because I knew these days were coming. I just never knew when exactly. So I'm surprised at the time, not at the opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah, but just whatever you do, just make sure that your circle has people who you don't have to say hey to. They'll come to you and say, hey, remember you started this, so you need to continue. And hey, you fall off track. Those are the people you need in your corner, not the people who are going to say, no, don't worry about that, man. No, just say, try again.
Yes.
And keep at it. But you never get it right your first time. Nothing great comes from easy.
All right. Also, okay, so thank you for that message, because that's the message I would be posting. And I would post other clips also.
Yeah, and protect yourself with knowledge.
Oh, okay. You want that piece there in there?
Yeah, definitely protect yourself with knowledge.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Don't worry, me put that up in the text part. Yeah, I have a point. That's a good one. Protect yourself with knowledge. I'm gonna digest that. You know. So how has the response been? You've had Stay So, you've had and you had seen it before. You've been part of the commercials. How is the response for you now? What are you getting into right now?
Well, Flight is on HBO. That's a short film out of Jamaica. Flight is an actual Jamaican film, not like polished with little patois and something else. It's raw Jamaican content, homegrown. Everything was done in Jamaica. Real patois we are talking on set. Real Jamaicans that were on set. Real Jamaican content.
Yeah.
So watch that on HBO. I have two particular projects, but because of contractual obligations, I can't speak on them. But they are two very big work here in the US.
So please, may I ask, when you do get the go ahead, let me know about it so we can talk about it and promote it. All right.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you. And all right, you know, Zbek, you're a very intelligent individual, you know, and I've been listening to you this evening. Yeah. All right. You're very. It seems to me that you're very focused on now and preparing for the future. And in doing so, you've had these opportunities. You've now had a touch of being able to cast for Seen It Before. Have you do you for future your future progression within the drama or the acting world? Have you got any plans to direct or produce or do any other of the behind the camera roles?
Definitely. I have a number of projects that I wrote. I released something recently called Fourth Party. I wrote and co-directed that one. It's on my page right now. For those who don't know, it's Zbek, ZBEK __. You can go and click on Fourth Party. Definitely, I have some stuff that I'll be working with Dameon, written by myself, and I'm going to have him, because it's only right that the person who puts you out, you know, you give them back a strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely want to direct, definitely want to write, definitely want to be behind the camera sometime, because I feel like I have that level of creativity as well. The way the camera moves, how the person characterize their character, the overall intonation or the inflect and deflect. I want to be the person to say, just a tad more, not so much. I want to be that person as well.
Yeah. So
yeah, definitely.
I can see it in here, you know, and it's not too far from reaching where it's supposed to reach.
Yeah, that's why Dameon trust me to like do certain stuff, because sometimes he'll call me up and like, me need one actor, but may I go for a certain look and a certain sound, and you more to get that person. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and just cause you have that, you seem so calm. You know, say you have a good spirit. And I sit down here and I say, this man, you just calm and nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
I
right.
read a
So,
lot of books, so
pardon?
I read a lot of books.
Yeah.
And I'm always like looking at documentaries regarding history because
Okay.
history is very important.
All right. So history has some dynamics. What part of history do you have a focus on a certain part of history?
Well, right now I'm looking at Patrice Lumumba.
I don't know that.
Oh yeah, he's this guy or was this the prime minister from Congo. He was the first one to form a government there because of what? I don't want to use the wrong country. But whosoever colonized Congo at the time, he fought for freedom and got their independence, and then his friends overthrew him because of greed.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm still reading up on that. I'm reading about calligraphy, which is the font,
Right in the fonts, yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at hieroglyphics. Yeah, I'm looking at Mayan mathematics. I'm looking at Amenhotep, Akhenaten,
What was that one?
the Egyptian guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm big on history.
All right. All
I
right.
won't say much on that because I just started reading, so I don't want to say the wrong thing
I
about.
understand, but no, but it's an
Yeah.
education for me. Like I work with fonts as well. I've worked with typefaces in the past, so that was so amazing to me. And just recently, I started studying hieroglyphics myself, so that's why I'm really interested. So it's like so weird that
Yeah.
we have this interview today, and I didn't even know all that about.
Probably we can do a next interview about hieroglyphics, maybe.
Yeah, probably. 'Cause I'm really like I said, I just started studying it. I've done it in the past, but I really want to get proper into it now
Yeah,
and be able
very
to read it.
interesting. So,
All right,
yeah,
so
man.
I'm not gonna keep you much longer, but I could talk to you forever. But please, is there anything you wanna mention that I haven't mentioned already? Is there anything you want to discuss that we haven't discussed? And if not, please just address your audience with what you want them to know, what you want them to see, and then we'll see.
Go and watch Busy Signals. Seen it before, but make sure that you watch Stay So before you watch Seen It Before, or else you're going to have to go back to Stay So. No matter what, you'll have to go back to Stay So. So just watch Stay So before. Follow me on Instagram at ZBEK __. That's Zbek __. I have an IMDb Pro page. I'm on Amazon Prime, Hulu, HBO Zone, and that's Flight. I'm in a movie called In the Room. I'm in I Love Anna. I've done so much work. I literally can't remember everything, but just go on Amazon Prime, type in Flight, I Love Anna, In the Room. You'll definitely see me there. Follow me on Instagram. I have a lot of work coming up to big production companies in the US. I'll be in their production. Just look out for that. And as soon as I can give the okay on it, I'll say names and everything else.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's been a
And
pleasure.
Zbek is going to change the game. Just believe that. Zbek is going to be the first, not male, but first person to bring home the Oscar to Jamaica.
You know why I know that? Because sitting down here talking to you, your face is completely different to how stringy look. Strings look.
And that's
And
that's
the
good
key.
acting.
And that is the
Yeah.
key.
Because you don't want, like I said, you don't want to be the character that you played. You just want to be yourself. And if I never detox, I couldn't be here talking to you with this big smile on my face. It'd be like, yeah.
So, like, it's been an absolute pleasure. And like I say, we're definitely going to organize another interview, probably just before your Oscars or once you've won the Oscar next year.
Or we could just go live right before I call it on stage and just like, hey,
oh my
here
God.
it is.
Yo, my head figure ready, you know, make sure we can come out that year. So thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today.
Definitely.
Thank you
Anytime,
again for your
anytime.
time. Everybody on the live, I appreciate you logging in. Thank you so much. Like we say, I have to big up VP Records. This wouldn't have been possible without them. VP Records. The song Seen It Before is out on Strictly the Best Volume 61 right now. And like we said, Seen It Before was directed and produced by Dameon Gayle, starring Zbek as one of the cast members. We're going to have a few more cast members to interview next week as well, so stay tuned. Zbek, you have a wonderful evening, sir.
You too. Have a better day.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.